Hey, Pop-Tarts and popcorn. It's your microwave. I don't know. We're gonna do a rambling report because I don't know where I'm gonna be Sunday. I don't know. I just don't know. I've been trying to do them on Sundays, but child, I be booked. So, plus my grandma might be cooking a little something for me Sunday, so I don't. Anyway, I know I'm supposed to be finishing up those last 2 episodes of The Act, but I can't do them today. Maybe not tomorrow. I couldn't do them yesterday because my throat, I don't know if you can hear, but I'm pushing right now. My throat is killing me. It's sinuses, probably a light sinus infection, and I can't do the Gypsy Rose voice, which I feel like takes away from the review. So it's canceled for the moment, but I'm coming back. I'm gonna finish the series. I haven't given up, I don't think. But anyway, let's get over to B. Scott and read some of these stories and talk about them. Remy Ma is facing 4, it's in all caps, but I can't scream today, 4 charges in alleged assault case. I had stood in correction. I stood corrected. Because the last thing I heard about this was Remy Ma saying that she had video footage showing that she was at the house. I don't... I'm confused. I'm confused. If she had the footage showing she was at the house during the time of the assault, how is she now facing these charges? I'm worried. I'm worried. I don't know. I don't know. I still, like I said before, think if she did hit this girl, that was stupid. But I don't know, child. I don't know. Dionne Warwick explains why she doesn't consider Beyoncé an icon, ellipsis, yet. Quote, it's a long road ahead. Look, I've been a fan of Beyoncé since I was 3 years old. I'll be 25 tomorrow. Like, one of the biggest fans. I had every album, magazine, poster. I had a magazine from her debut album that I wouldn't even let my sisters touch. Don't touch this, don't look at it. One of my sisters accidentally sat on it and I almost boxed her. I almost fist fought her because I was that, you know, girl. I was, before the Beehive even existed, I was out here fighting, you know, for Beyonce and, you know, her debut album. Like, this girl is my girl. Dionne Warwick is also a legend. I love her music. I listen to it constantly. I sing it constantly. So to me, this is like my 2 of my faves. And what I'm going to say, a lot of the younger generations and a lot of the Beehive may not agree with me, but the facts are these. Dionne Warwick is entitled to have an opinion. If she feels like Beyonce is not an icon yet, then in her mind, Beyonce is not yet an icon. I personally kind of agree with Dionne. Like, in the grand scheme of things, and in you know, the perspective of a Dionne Warwick, a Patti LaBelle, Aretha when she was with us, a Gladys Knight, the emotions, you know, in the view of these women. I'm sorry, I got to move my car, girl. My phone trying to overheat. I got to get a little air circulating through here. In the view of these women, Beyonce just got here. 20 years to Dionne Warwick is nothing. Dionne Warwick had 20 years in like the 70s. So if she says Beyonce is not an icon in her humble opinion, then that's her opinion. That's fine. Beyonce honestly doesn't need the title of icon because she has the title of Beyonce. I don't know why y'all want to call the girl legend and icon and, you know, all of the, I mean, it means something to the gay community, to the LGBT community. But to everybody else, it really doesn't. Icon and legend doesn't really hold a lot of weight. Y'all just be fighting because somebody said something quote unquote disparaging about your girl. And it ain't that deep. It really is not. They gonna get sick of me driving in circles around here. Let me find somewhere else to be, girl. I don't want to go yonder because I got this headscarf on. I do. I mean, it's cute for y'all, but you know, you don't want to be driving down the road with your headscarf on. Adam Levine or Levine, how do you pronounce this? Whatever. He's leaving The Voice after 16 seasons. You really could stick a feather in my hat and call me macaroni. I didn't know The Voice had been on for 16 seasons. I know it's been on for a little while, and I don't know how The Voice chops up their seasons. A lot of these competition shows do like 2 in a year, but that would mean The Voice would have had to been on for like 8 years, and that don't seem right. I mean, maybe so, Because CeeLo was on like the first seasons, and we ain't heard from CeeLo in a long time. Thank God, because he was out here drugging and molesting folk. Kevin Hunter blames Wendy Williams for ruining his relationship with Kevin Jr. You see how my voice started to go out? That's because the Lord doesn't want me to speak on this. Y'all see I haven't done a video about Wendy Williams at all. Wendy Williams, Kevin Hunter, Kelvin Hunter, any of them, those coming forward to say Kelvin is homosexual or bisexual. I haven't talked about it. You know why? Because the Lord told me this. He said, you don't care. I said, you're right, Lord. He said, you don't really have to talk about this. It's ongoing. It's going to keep going for quite a while. I said, you're also correct, Jesus. You be right. You just be right. He said, the way I told you to hush about the Jussie Smollett situation and don't come in and say nothing and just keep your eye peeled and watch the story, the very way I told you to do that, you keep your mouth shut on this Wendy Williams thing. I said, okay. What I'm going to do, fight with the Lord? The Lord told me, don't be out here, you know, covering every piece of this story. You're going to get tired. You're going to get drained. And I haven't covered any of it, and I'm tired and drained. Just looking at it. Let's see. Uber driving college professor allegedly tried to kidnap 3 women in one night. Well, I hope we go to jail and stay in jail for quite the long time. Let's see. Cardi B says she's not making a TV show. I saw an article that said that she might be doing Bachtails with Cardi, a little TV show. I think that's absolutely ludicrous. Number one, because Cardi B is doing shows. She's doing shows. She's not going to be able. All right, so I apologize in advance for sounding the way I do up close and personal. If you hear the fan in the background, again, girl is hot. Where was I? I don't remember. Oh, Cardi B. Girl, Cardi B does not have time to do a television show. She's doing actual, like, dates. She's doing shows, and she's recovering from surgeries, and don't nobody really want to hear her talk about things for 30 minutes to an hour. No, we don't want that. Aisha Curry hits back at troll for body shaming her 10-month-old son. I don't know why people feel the need to talk about babies ever. Babies look like babies. Fat babies, skinny babies. Well, ain't too many like super skinny babies, but you know, regular sized babies and obese babies. Most of the time, they all grow up to look like regular people. Like, I was an average sized baby. I got, you know, thin as a kid when I got up and started moving around, running around. And then I started picking up weight when I stopped. Like, that's just how bodies work. Whatever. Judge orders Jussie Smollett criminal case file to be unsealed. Quote, these are not the actions of a person seeking to maintain his privacy. All right, girl, whatever. A 102-year-old woman accused of strangling her 9-year-old neighbor to death. 92-year-old neighbor to death. That's a lot. That's a lot. No, God. I hope she didn't. I hope it's some sort of misunderstanding. But look, I'm at a loss. Boston Museum of Fine Arts staff member reportedly told black students no food, no drink, and no watermelon. Sir or madam, who is just walking around a museum with a watermelon? Whom? Like, oh, girl, I got the snacks. Ooh, what you bring? A watermelon. A whole watermelon. Like, what? No. That don't make no sense. Lena Waithe and Halle Berry share a kiss on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Excuse me, Miss Halle Berry. Lena Waithe got a whole fiance or wife. I'm not sure if they've tied the knot. Halle. I mean, we know Halle Berry, you know, and I'm saying this with love. It's slick. We know she'll take your man right out of the box and put him under her padlock. But Lena Waithe got a whole lady. Lisa Vanderpump dragged for making transphobic joke about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills co-star Erica Jane. I wish y'all would just stop doing the whole she looked like a man bit. It was old 30, 40 years ago. It was old when Young Miami kept calling Jocelyn a man, or Hazel E, or both of them, I think. You know, it's old today. It's old. It's old. It's even old when you're watching Paris is Burning, and the trans woman, Lord, why is her name escaping me? May she rest. What is her name? You want to talk about reading? Extravaganza. Why is it escaping me, Jesus? What is her name? Anyway, because this is going to bother me, I'm going to Google it. But while I'm Googling it, I'm going to tell you. It was old when she herself, a trans woman, was reading and talking about, you went back to being a man. Like, I understand that it was years ago and times have changed and all of that, but it just, it's rude. It's rude. It's hurtful. It's rude. I mean, people are dying. That's a whole nother separate video. But it's just, I just don't like it. I don't care for it. I think it must be stopped. Venus Extravaganza. Venus. I was like, it starts with a V, but what? It was Venus. May she rest. But even when she was saying, you know, you went back to being a man, like, I understand that it was good light, you know, it was shade. It wasn't light, but it was shade, and we were having a reading battle and all of that. But let's refrain. Perfectly healthy dog killed so it could be buried with its owner as per the owner's will. That sounds like a crime, but who you gonna prosecute? Owner dead. I guess you could prosecute the vet that had the dog, that put the dog down. There's nobody in my life that is like, well, I'm going to glory, let me bring you with me. Nobody. I love a lot of people to death, but not literally to death. Not literally. It's like, oh, I love you so much. When I'm gone, I want you to continue on. That's how I feel. Not, well, I'm dying, so come on with me. Like, no, what? The selfishness. Tamron Hall, I'm sorry if you can hear me swallowing. Like I said, my throat is very irritated, and I'm like refraining from swallowing as much as I usually do, so my mouth is extra juicy. I know that's a lot of information, but it's what it is. Tamron Hall explains why she kept her pregnancy at 48 a secret. I was terrified I would lose this baby. That's a real fear that a lot of women have, not just and I hate this term, but once you're over 35, your pregnancy is considered geriatric. Not just geriatric pregnancies, but a lot of people have the fear that if I say anything about this baby, you know, then it'll die. I understand. What I don't understand is I heard Tamron Hall was pregnant like months ago, like a year ago. Like well into last year, which is why when I reported on a Rambling Report that she had her baby at 48, it wasn't like, oh no, she was pregnant, I had no clue. No, I knew, because she said it. So I don't know. I'm not talking about a Kardashian. B. Scott reported on May 22nd that the Trump administration has canceled the unveiling of the Harriet Tubman $20 bill planned for 2020. We knew that in 2016. That's something I knew in the year of our Lord 2016. The moment Trump became president, did y'all think he was just going to continue to let y'all, slave freedom icon be on the 20? Like, no, girl, that's not how racism works. Homeless high school teen Tupac Mosley, named valedictorian, receives over $3 million in college scholarships. And we applaud you, young Tupac. We applaud you. Will Smith really thinks about Jada's Red Table Talk. I'm not going to click the link because that's not what I do, but I did hear that he said he does not watch it because it's too much information, and Will Smith and I agree. I don't need to sit here and watch Jada Pinkett Smith talk about the one time she had an ingrown toenail. Like, it's almost like watching Iyanla. You know when somebody comes on Iyanla and it's like, I was murdered once, and Iyanla's like, beloved, I was murdered when I was 16 years old. Like, girl, no, what? Everything the people have gone through, Iyanla is like, yes, I as well. And it's the same thing with Jada, from what I understand. Again, I've never watched the show, but from what y'all keep reporting to me, honey, it's always me too as well. You know, it's too much. It's far too much, and I don't care for it. So Nipsey Hussle's baby mama is ready to fight for control of his estate. This whole saga is another one that it's like I can't talk about everything going on with it. Jussie Smollett, Wendy Williams, and now Nipsey Hussle. It's like a never-ending continuation. And Aretha's about to be put on this list as well. So I haven't reported, and I'm sure it's going to come up as I scroll through, because, I like to go back in B. Scott's archive and see what I've missed. But Nipsey Hussle's sister filed for custody of Nipsey Hussle's daughter, and she lost it, but then somehow she got it like a week later, and so now the baby mama is ready to fight for control of his estate. In what world? In what world? Why would the control of his estate not go to his parents or his siblings, a blood relative? If his daughter were an adult, why would it not go to her? When is it ever going to a baby mama? Like, no shade. I know you probably loved him. He loved you. And y'all made a beautiful baby and all of that. But in what world does someone have a living parents and the control of the estate? I don't understand. That's like if somehow Bobby Christina's estate wasn't being controlled by Bobby Brown, it was being controlled by Nicholas, whatever his name is. Like, that don't make no sense. He was just a boyfriend. I don't know, and I don't like it. I'm not talking about Chris Brown because y'all like to be mad. Ice-T says he almost shot an Amazon delivery driver for creeping up to his home. He was probably just walking his normal speed trying to drop off a package. Like, did you think you were the next Bun B? Y'all remember how the guy broke into Bun B's house or knocked on the door and his wife let him in because she thought he was Amazon? Like, did Ice-T think that he was next? I'm confused. I've already told y'all Hazel E released the City Girls diss track. Who cares? Amazing. Grandmother of 11, not at 11, because that would be amazing. Grandmother of 11 earns her MBA at age 59, says it's a real confidence booster. But we thank God for her getting her MBA. Praise God. Cardi B postpones concert due to complications from breast augmentation and liposuction. We've already kind of talked about that. Now this next story, I'm gonna have to take a moment, just because I'm confused. I'm confused. Let me take just 1 second and understand. Mel B reveals her diagnosis in herpes blindness scare. I am so lost. All my life, and I'm not an uneducated person, all my life I was under the conclusion that, all right, well, herpes, it gives you the bumps, it'll give you a cold sore, different simplexes, but still the virus. I'm fortunate to have never had a cold sore, we thank God, or the bumps. But blind, green, we're talking about Usher. I was very shocked a year or two, or maybe even 3 at this point ago, to find that Usher had green ooze coming out of his penis due to herpes. What kind of new herpes? I never. Blind? Like, I'm speaking so high right now that my throat is killing me, but blind. I don't understand. If you have herpes and it's being treated, how are you going blind? I need a medical professional to come in and sit with me and walk me through this. I am blind. I am so lost. I'm deeply saddened. The real salaries of the Real Housewives of Atlanta revealed. Kandi Burruss is the highest paid housewife, not Nene Leakes. Y'all have been talking all week about these salaries, girl. Kandi and Nene are both they're making more money than all of you and I. Portia's making more money than all of you and I. Tony, Tracy, Tawanda, Trina, Tamar, and Miss E are all making more money than all of you and I. And I don't know why we're so interested in finding out how much money they make per episode. Because I can honestly say that I don't believe that I or 99.9% of y'all will be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So it's not like we're trying to compare and contrast and figure out, how much we gonna make when we're on the show. Why do we care? I don't, but I'm interested to know why y'all do, and I'm not downing any of you for being interested in that information. I just don't understand why you're interested. I don't understand. Let's see. I ain't talking about that. Rihanna talks new music, says she doesn't plan to collaborate with Drake anytime soon. Neither do I. Neither do I. Because Drake is gross. He's been gross. Since I'm here, I'll tell you my backstory with Drake. I used to watch Degrassi. And as progressive as the show was, it talked about a lot of things. There weren't just a whole lot of black people on the show. There weren't at the beginning. Drake and Hazel, what was his name? Jimmy and Hazel were the blacks. We weren't sure about Ashley Kerwin. She kind of had she had flavor to it. She was brown, but she was still white. But Jimmy and Hazel were the blacks. And we sat there and we watched, or I did, and, couldn't help but have a crush on Jimmy because he was the black boy. I love JT as well. I was in love with JT far more than James, not James. They were both James, but more than James Brooks, Jimmy Brooks, Wheelchair Jimmy. I love James Tiberius York. Y'all don't care, but the point is, I was a big fan of Aubrey Graham on Degrassi. In 2007, I found out he had put out a little song, and Trey Songz was on it. It was called Successful Girl. I was like, oh, this is cute. Real cute. I wasn't a Trey Songz fan at all, but, I love Drake, so I'll support. Listen to it, had it on my MySpace playlist and everything, girl. Drake started getting very popular. I found out about Nicki Minaj also in 2007. So it was like, oh, my faves, separately, my faves linking up together with Lil Wayne, Young Money. They're everywhere together, blah, blah, blah. It was cute. Fast forward to now, I really don't have to hear another Drake song. I really don't. Like, he's fallen off so bad, like, not musically, but personally. And I'm bored. He's disinteresting. He seems kind of like he might be a child predator, and I don't need that energy. Anyway, girl, that was the whole thing. That was it. I don't have anything else to talk about. And so I'm going to go. I'm going to leave you all and probably take a nap or something. I don't know. I'm hungry, but I don't feel like going out and getting anything to eat because I just came back in the house. I just did. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all the things the YouTubers say, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.